Alright, I'll get straight into it. No fuss, the RDL, the Romanian deadlift with the kettlebell. Make sure that you stay for the rest of the video because I'll explain more about this exercise. And I'll also post a link below where you can get a workout for the RDL workout. Okay, RDL, Romanian deadlift. Here we go. One kettlebell. It's a hip hinge. I'll also show you side on in a bit. Hip hinge, two joints, not the ankles. Deadlift it up. Now I'm in a neutral stance. I'm going to break it two joints again. The hips and the knees, pushing my hips back, keeping my back straight. Do not bend at the ankles. Keep the shins vertical. So the weight is hanging, and that's my bottom position, not back to dead. Right here, I'm looking at the ground, my shoulders are pulled back, my lats are on, my core is engaged, I'm squeezing my glutes, my hamstrings are pulling at the bottom of my pelvis, so the pelvis is pulled back up. One more time, looking ahead, coming down, pushing my hips back, pulling the top of my pelvis down, let the weight hang, and back up. Side on, looking ahead, bending at two joints, really feeling that stretch here. Coming back up, neutral stance, back down, looking at the ground, back up. Okay, so that's the RDL, Romanian deadlift. Now, it's not a deadlift, okay? Because a deadlift means lifting a dead weight. I'll get into that in a bit. For now, just think a bit about that. Okay, RDL with two kettlebells. I'll deadlift it with a squat. Then the RDL itself. My arms are hanging. I'm just holding onto the bell. My shoulders are pulled up. My abs are on. Chest is out. Pushing my hips back. The weight is hanging, I'm looking at the ground, coming back up, full neutral position, extended everything, back down, and I'm going to put the weight back down. Okay, so the RDL, let's get back to the naming. I don't know why it's called a Romanian deadlift. I honestly don't. And I also don't care because it's named incorrectly and it confuses people. A lot of people think that a deadlift means hip hinge, but it's not. People think that the movement of this is a deadlift. It's not. A deadlift basically means lifting dead weight. Here's a suitcase deadlift. And I'm squatting, three joints. Suitcase deadlift. Here's a lunge deadlift. I'm lunging, but I'm deadlifting the weight. So it's a variation of a deadlift. Okay. I can show you many more variations of a deadlift. I'm not going to. So, why is it not a Romanian deadlift? Why is it not dead? Because the weight never returns to dead. Dead is absolutely not moving, okay? The weight is not moving. The weight is always moving. when it's hanging and it's not on the ground. So this is a hang, and that's why we call it a hip hinge hang lift. It's performed with a hip hinge and the weight is hanging and it's lifted. So hip hinge hang lift, or 3HL. Okay, doesn't matter what you want to call it. I just wanted to get that information out. Okay, it might be interesting, might not be, who cares? Now, why would you want to do, let's call it the Romanian deadlift again, just so you feel more comfortable. Why would you want to do the RDL? Because your client or yourself doesn't have the range. So for example, you ask them to do a deadlift with a hip hinge and they got to here but they can't go further, and then they start bending at the back. You don't want that. You want them to make the movement, work on their glutes, work on their hamstring, work on their core in a safe way. So you tell them squat to deadlift it up, find your stance, and then do the Romanian deadlift or the hang lift. Just going as low as you can while maintaining that straight back and working on your range of motion every time. So that's a great way to use this exercise for. Another thing is you're not putting it dead to the ground every time, which can be good because you are keeping the load on the body. The tension remains there. So if I go dead, right now there's no load here. If I keep it here, that load remains on my body the whole time. So it goes through the arm, then my back is doing a lot of work to stay erect, and then my hips, my glutes, my hammies are gonna do work to lift it up, or even to keep it up right here, to keep my pelvis up. If they wouldn't do work, they would fall forward. So my point is it keeps the load on the body during your exercises. Deadlift is great to put it down and reset what you're doing. So if you're doing really heavy work and lots of reps, it's great to do a deadlift. And if you're interested in receiving knowledge like this every week, something new to learn, then come and join us in a private group called the Caveman Inner Circle. It's for everybody, beginners to advanced. We got nearly 100 people in there. They're all kettlebell enthusiasts who are there to progress. So we've got people who've been in there for nearly 2 years and their progress is immense. They have progressed so well, just step by step and safely. And that's what you want to do. So not only do they get coaching and feedback, which is optional by the way, but they also get a new workout every week to complete, and then they have access to over 150 workouts in the private library. You just go in there, you select your workout, strength, mobility, flexibility, endurance, etc. It's all there. You get access to coaches so you can ask questions. It's like having your private trainer there with a library of exercises and workouts to just be busy the whole year and turn yourself into a kettlebell pro safely and step by step. Come and join us there. Check the link below. See you there.